Hello, my name is Rosemary Vargas. Today I'm going to interview a teacher from the school, the Anza Trail. So welcome, Ms. Martha
Martha Gibson, and yes, I'm a seventh grade language arts teacher here.
Okay, for today we are going to ask questions about teaching portfolio. So the first question is, do you have a teaching portfolio? If no, what do you have?
Oh yes, I have a teacher portfolio because I have been teaching for many years. So there is a section where I have letters of recommendation that different principals and teachers have written for me. And then I have another section where I've developed different curriculum, different units and lessons that I've developed. So I have a few examples. Then I also have a few of my college research papers included. I have another section that includes philosophy of education, so a short statement about what I think about teaching.
That's good. Great. Okay, second question. Do you think that compiling a teaching portfolio is difficult?
Well, it's not that difficult as long as you keep track of your files. I was amazed when I was changing jobs and I could actually find letters from so long ago. It's all a matter of documenting your work and then being able to locate your work, so organization. And that is a lot of it's very important to be organized as a teacher so that you're not losing students' papers, you're not losing your own documents that are helping you keep track of student progress. So I don't think it's that difficult to put together the portfolio. One of the things that can be challenging is if you're asking for a letter of recommendation from someone and they don't provide it to you, and you're waiting for them to write it and waiting and they still don't do it, then you just have to ask someone else to provide it for you. But other than that, no.
Okay. Third question. If you have the possibility to assemble a portfolio, what would you like to include it?
What would if it were just totally up to me, what would be in my portfolio? Probably the sections I mentioned a few minutes ago, but I would also include some examples of student work with the student's name removed, with them having given me permission to use the work. Because I think what a student produces is a good example of what you're capable of as a teacher, although it's teamwork between the student and the teacher. As far as what are they going to produce, well, they come into your classroom with a certain amount of skill and knowledge that you're not responsible for making it all happen. But I do think it would be nice to have, like if you're going to have a section that includes example lessons, then to have some samples of student work. And additionally, I would include the other sections. Do you want me to repeat those that I used earlier, or just you can just reference them from earlier in the interview? No, I don't need to repeat it. Okay.
No, for this question is like when some teachers just like to make introduce when about the level they how the teacher feels teaching, or what is the strength, what is the abilities. So including photos, videos about her self motivation, and a part for the students. So it's like a curriculum. You can put the course, everything, your skills, and about the class too.
Okay.
So
in the portfolio?
Yeah.
Okay, to include a resume. I forgot my curriculum vitae or my resume was in my portfolio as well. And I say was because that is sitting probably it's sitting in Indiana right now because I don't even think I brought it with me because I got the job, so I just left the portfolio behind because a lot of those files I do have electronic copies of. But yes, I don't have anything put together as an electronic portfolio.
Yeah.
But I could create one if I needed to because I do have a lot of files that I've turned in, like the letters of recommendation, turned them into PDF files, and then a lot of my documents that are in my portfolio I do have an electronic copy of. But I don't have any video of me teaching.
No, it's just no videos you're teaching. They just add whatever the teacher want. Can be a video for the class, for the students. Like that. There's many options you can just include in the portfolio. It's just up to the teacher what she wants to include. So, okay, let's go with pure observation. Okay? When you observe another teacher, what has the teacher done well for you?
Well, I can vividly remember some of the observations that I have done in the past. One of them was in a math class, and it was 7th grade, and I observed a game that the teacher was leading. The classroom was very orderly and calm, and the game was very, I would say, like streamlined. Like it was very clear exactly what the students were supposed to do. And they were all very well behaved. They took turns going up to the board. They were having sort of a little competition, doing some problems on the board. And so something that impressed me was simply that how clear everything was. And I thought, reflecting on my own teaching, like an observation will inevitably promote self-reflection. I thought, do I clearly explain my games like that? And have I explained my behavior expectations as well as this teacher must have? Because look how well behaved these students are, waiting their turn to go to the board. They were all working the problem. So all students in the room were engaged and doing the work. But the two at the board were the ones in the competition. Anyway, I just thought she had a very good handle on the guidance, the clarity of the lesson, the behavior, and the students were very motivated. So I was super impressed with her work. And then another teacher I observed, I noticed that she was very clear also in exactly what the students were to be learning and how they were supposed to be doing everything. It just seemed so clear. In other words, they were setting their students up for success, to know what was expected and to be able to do it. So I was really impressed with that.
I think that is great. When I have the opportunity 2 years ago in Barcelona, but I don't know about the pure observation. I just was a student, so I have to, the first day I have to observe the teacher just for know how she managed the classroom, So I just had to take notes about the time she spent for the activity and when she just stand up in the center of the classroom or to the corner, how she evaluated the students. So that was a wonderful experience for me. Now I can see it like oh my God, it was a peer observation. But now at the point like a teacher between teachers, but it's like student, but it's good. I think it's a good, interaction for teachers. You can just learn from others and just making in your class. So that sounds like a good activity for me. So the second question is, Have you ever learned strategies to observe a colleague?
By observing my colleagues, some of the takeaway lessons that I gained had to do with that clarity of expectations and keeping the extra talking out of it. Just say what really must be said for the students to understand. So they have think time and I'm not talking too much. And to make things simple enough that there's no confusion. Those were some of my lessons that I gained from those two people that I just mentioned.
Right. Third question. Have you ever observed another teacher or have another teacher observe you?
Could you rephrase the question? I'm not sure what you're asking.
Have you ever observed another teacher? You have the opportunity to observe another teacher, or have another teacher came to your classroom and observed you giving the class?
I have been observed many times.
Yeah.
But are you saying like I went to that teacher's classroom and later they came to mine, so that the two of us had been in each other's classrooms? I probably have, definitely when I taught kindergarten, yes.
So now we are going to talk about teaching journal.
Yes.
So the first question is, do you share the journal with other teachers? Is this an advantage or disadvantage for you?
I haven't shared a written reflection with other teachers, but I have shared them in college classes that I've taken. And the heart of the matter that you are addressing, I certainly have done, which the heart of the matter is, I reflect on my teaching. I do an evaluation every day, if not every hour. What did I do well? What didn't work so well? And then I do openly discuss that with other colleagues, because that's part of my continual professional growth. As far as how much of that do I actually write down and record, as of this school year and last school year, not very much. But in the past, I would write down a reflection on the bottom of my lesson plan.
Okay, great. So the next question is, how do you feel writing a journal?
I think that when I have done the written reflections of my after teaching, that I gain so much valuable knowledge about my work through carefully going back over the day or the hour, as the case may be, and recognizing how much a person can learn through the reflection. So I think it's very worthwhile, and sometimes I just don't take the time to do it as thoroughly as I could, but I almost always do reflect, because I mean, that's just a way of my professionalism.
Yeah, I think it's important for teaching, you know?
Yeah.
You can keep notes. The third question is, what do you think you have learned from what you have written in your journal in the past?
Okay. Or through reflection, what works well, what didn't work well, how I can change the lessons a little bit in order to help student success to be at a greater level. I mean, that's a very general response, but basically by being engaged in that evaluation, sort of self-evaluation process, it allows me to continue to grow as a teacher, just always getting better.
So that's it for the interview.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.